Okay guys, we already have Android and Google services set up. Now we have to set up backend. Backend will be our Node.js application, which will be streaming files from Google storage, files with our recorded audio, and will be streaming them to Google Speech API. For this, we have to deploy somewhere our Node.js application, and we will use Google Cloud Platform for this. All Google Firebase projects are automatically visible in Google Cloud Platform. From the drop-down, I already selected the robot test application, and you can also do this in your account. And now you have to do two things. All the Firebase projects are visible in Google Cloud Platform, yes, but in order to use them, you have to explicitly enable them. And you enable them by navigating to billing section and hitting enable billing. If you will try to deploy the application without billing enabled, there will be an error which will tell you that you should enable billing first. The second thing that you have to do is to go to the API manager and enable Google Cloud Speech API. This API is still in beta version, so you have to explicitly enable it. So under the API manager, click the Enable API. From the Google Cloud Machine Learning section, select Speech API and enable it. I already enabled this, so uh, that's me, and I'm done. Our robot test is now ready to be deployed. However, I need to set up one additional thing. Google Cloud Platform will automatically authenticate to Firebase services like Google Real-Time Database and Google Storage, but for Google Cloud Messaging, I need to provide explicitly the API key. This API key is visible in the Firebase console. I'm using my robot test project, that is why I can share those credentials with you, because I will remove this project after the recording. So I have to copy this server key, and for convenience I will be exposing this server key as an environmental variable. Uh, Environmental variables in Google App Engine are taken from the app YAML file. So if we take a look at the app YAML, it has section env variables with the GCM server key. It is set to some kind of placeholder AAA, and let's swap it to the actual value. So I already have an environmental variable, right? This is the API key which I copied from the Firebase web console, and here is a command that I can use to swap uh, the placeholder with the actual value taken from the GCM server key. I'm using gset on my Mac, so I have to prefix it with G, so it's gset, and the rest remains the same. I can now take a look at the app YAML file, and yeah, it already contains my GCM server key. We are ready now. So the deploy is as easy as gcloud app deploy, and let's do this. Uh, yes, so we are deploying service called speech recognition, runtime Node.js, environmental flex. This is an experimental beta environment. Uh, it is based on containers. It will take some time, I will pause this video and return to you in a few moments. Okay guys, a few minutes later, here we are. Google App Engine is already hosting our speech recognition service. Let's test this. I know what is the endpoint, so I can directly send requests to this endpoint. In my case, this is speech recognition, the service name, dot, robot test, the project ID. It expects a JSON payload, so I'm using curl to send a JSON. This JSON contains the user ID. If you recall from my previous recording, my user starts with RL, so that's the user ID, and an audio ID. This audio is already in my Google storage, and it contains a recording of me saying left. So I've sent some curl requests to my speech recognition endpoint, and I can take a look at the logs. I will filter by standard out because by default it will print me also information from Nginx logs and so on and so on. So we can see that the transcript was left. It has a code of 6, and then this message was sent to Google Cloud Messaging. I invoked this twice, so you can see it was invoked in logs twice as well.